Kia ora, everyone. Thank you for joining us today to the talk on thyroid health. I'd just like to remind you that the thyroid is this small, very small sort of butterfly-shaped gland here in your neck. But don't let that size fool you. It plays a huge role in keeping us, sort of keeping our metabolism going, your energy up, and your overall health in check. Okay? Thyroid disease or dysfunction, it's actually a global health concern. As of this year, 2024, it's estimated that more than 200 million people worldwide are affected by some kind of thyroid disease, right? Hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, Hashimoto's, etc. And us women and older people have it the hardest. So, yeah, most of us. Um, in some parts of Europe and North America, for example, 1 out of 4 women are affected by Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and an upward trend keeps steadily rising in most countries where there is proper record keeping, okay, including countries in Africa, in Southeast Asia, and South America. And Raf and I are bringing you this topic today because a lot of our clients suffer from or have suffered from some kind of thyroid disorder and would like to bring awareness to things that we may be doing or not doing daily that can help or destroy our thyroid. Okay? Today, I'll focus on 3 very important things that are in many ways in your control and that affect your thyroid. Stress, autoimmunity, so why does the immune system sometimes attack our own thyroid? And dieting, okay, or low energy availability or low energy intake. By the end of today, I hope to give you a better understanding of how these factors impact your thyroid. And I also want to share some practical strategies to prevent or manage these issues, okay? Let's start with stress, okay? We've all experienced it, but did you know that chronic stress can seriously disrupt your thyroid? When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol. Yes, we've talked about this quite a bit, haven't we? A hormone designed to help you handle short term challenges, right? But when cortisol stays elevated for too long, it starts interfering with the system that controls your thyroid, the HPT axis. HPT axis. This is this huge great avenue between your hypothalamus, your pituitary gland, and your thyroid gland. Here is what happens under chronic stress. Okay, first you're going to get reduced thyroid hormone production. Cortisol suppresses a key signal called TSH. Okay, TSH doesn't matter the name, but this is what tells your thyroid to produce hormones, okay? And less TSH means less thyroid hormone overall, okay? 2, there's also a conversion problem, okay? Your thyroid produces 2 main hormones, T4, which is inactive, and T3, the active form that your body uses for energy. Under stress, cortisol blocks T4 from converting into T3. Okay, there's an enzyme that converts T4 into T3, and it's blocked by cortisol. And instead, T4 is turned into something called reverse T3 or RT3, which does not work like T3, and your energy, it's 6 feet under. Okay. And as we've discussed many times before, chronic stress also brings about inflammation. Okay, chronic stress increases inflammation, which can damage thyroid tissue over time. And I'll just talk about it briefly in just a moment. So, what can we do about all of this? Chill out, shall we? Let's practice relaxation techniques. And did you hear that? I said practice. This is a daily thing. So do yoga, meditation, take breaks during your day. Even 10 minutes can help lower your cortisol levels. Go walk around barefoot and ground yourself. Speak your truth. Find your purpose. Get inspired. Okay? To focus on foods that support your thyroid, right? Like Brazil nuts for selenium and leafy greens for magnesium and so on. And also balance your routine, okay? Avoid overdoing anything, avoid overworking, avoid over exercising. These behaviors also spike your cortisol levels, okay? Now, let's move on to why does the immune system attack the thyroid, okay? Let's talk about autoimmunity. This is when your immune system, which is supposed to protect you, actually starts attacking your thyroid instead, okay? Autoimmune thyroid conditions are the most common cause of thyroid dysfunction. Okay, the most common cause of autoimmunity. We will talk about autoimmunity at some later point in the year, next year. But just know this, you might be very familiar with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, right? Which is can cause an underactive thyroid, and Graves' disease, also known, which causes an overactive thyroid. Okay. But why does this happen? Why is the thyroid attackable? Okay. One, maybe genetic. So if autoimmune conditions run in your family, you're more likely to develop one. Okay. This does not mean that you will categorically develop them, but you are just more prone to having them in your environment. Okay. In and out. Okay. So genetics, just know this, genetics does not mean destiny. Okay. Also, there are some environmental triggers. So, in infections, for example, like certain viruses can confuse the immune system and make it attack your thyroid because fragments of the thyroid actually look like viruses, for example. Okay. You can also have exposure to toxins or even high stress levels can amplify the immune response. Okay. And there's also a few sort of unique features of the thyroid, right? One is this, it's very interesting. The thyroid absorbs iodine to make hormones, but sometimes this process creates these weird, harmful byproducts that are still being studied, actually. And these byproducts can damage thyroid cells, and this makes them a target for the immune system. Okay. So how can we prevent this? How can we manage this? So one, dietary changes. These are easy to control. Okay, so follow an anti-inflammatory diet. Look it up. It's everywhere. Focus on colorful fruits, vegetables, and omega-3s, okay, from sources like wild caught salmon, flax seeds, and so on. And if you have autoimmune tendencies, you might benefit from avoiding gluten, okay, even if you're not officially gluten intolerant or have a specific allergy. Gluten can often trigger inflammation. Okay. Also, you can focus on key nutrients. Okay. Selenium, you can find selenium in Brazil nuts. It's a lot, and fish. This mineral can reduce thyroid antibodies. You can look for vitamin D. Vitamin D, essential for keeping the immune system balanced, working, modulated. Okay, you can look for zinc as well. Helps boost thyroid function and can help also immune regulation. Okay, women, we need zinc everywhere. There's no doubt that there's a deficiency in zinc, a lot. Okay, and we can also again manage your stress reduction, actively relax, make it a priority. Okay, chronic stress is a known trigger for autoimmune diseases, so practicing everyday relaxation techniques, as we discussed just before, is critical. Okay, let's move on to a very important one as well. It's the one that it's usually the one that sort of keeps coming up in our meetings, Ralph and I, with the women that we work on. This is a major factor that people didn't think about before in younger years, but it's huge. So let's discuss dieting and low energy availability, or LEA, and how they can harm the thyroid. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, actually. LEA happens when you don't eat enough calories to meet your body's needs. Okay, your body senses this calorie shortage and starts conserving energy, which slows your metabolism. Okay, and this is how LEA affects your thyroid. One, you get reduced T3 production. Remember, T4 and T3, you get reduced T3 production. Your thyroid makes less T3, the hormone that actually keeps your metabolism running. And instead, more T4, it's turned into reverse T3 as before. And this slows things down even further, okay? You get an increase in cortisol. When your body thinks is in this starvation mode, cortisol rises. And this not only disrupts thyroid function, but also adds more stress to your body, okay? And lastly, dieting, obviously, you have fewer nutrients, okay? So extreme diets often cut out key nutrients like iodine, the ones that I just talked about, selenium, iron, all of which are critical for thyroid health, okay? So what are the consequences of all of the symptoms of underactive thyroid are fatigue, weight gain, feeling cold, mood swings, a lot of irritability, no energy, feeling and being imbalanced. You'll get further hormonal imbalances. You can get irregular periods, more mood swings, and so on. Okay. And so we're feeling all of this. What can we do? How can we prevent this? Well, let's self-fuel, okay? Eat enough calories. Make sure your food intake matches your energy needs. Do not starve yourself. This messes up your thyroid. Don't cut out entire food groups, okay? Especially carbohydrates. These are essential for T3 production. You can cycle. And yes, we have a pathway in which we can create sugar from protein in our body, but we would have to be in very hardcore starvation mode. We don't want to get there. These were designed within our bodies for very difficult times when we were hunters and gatherers. We don't need that anymore, and this is way more stress than hormesis. Okay, um, so again, you can cycle, you can be very low carb for a while, but make sure that you do implement carb ups often, okay? Also, let's focus on nutrient dense foods. Include iodine rich foods like seaweed, like eggs, selenium rich foods like I just said, Brazil nuts, seafood, and zinc rich foods like pumpkin seeds, okay? Also, try to have frequent or predictable meals, okay? Eating regularly can prevent spikes in cortisol, okay? It keeps us away from this alert mode, okay? I'm not asking you to eat every 2 or 3 hours. No. But make sure that to keep your meals consistent, okay? Respect your fasting hours, 12, 13, 15, 16, whatever you're trained for. But just make sure you're fueling properly, okay? So let's wrap this up with some takeaways, okay? One, let's practice more self love, okay? Let's practice more self regulation and let's self fuel properly. I didn't really have to put the self before fueling, but it just brings a sense of responsibility to it, okay? Remember that stress disrupts thyroid function through cortisol and hormone imbalances. So managing stress is essential for thyroid health. Essential for thyroid health, okay? Autoimmune thyroid conditions happen when the immune system mistakenly attacks the thyroid, but check this out, and there's nothing more impactful than this. Balanced diet, stress reduction, and proper nutrients have shown to help prevent and manage this madness, okay? Again, extreme dieting or low calorie intake harm the thyroid, but you can avoid these issues with balanced nutrition and proper energy intake, okay? Let's have this hardcore dieting in the 80s, shall we? Let's leave it behind us. Uh, Thank you so much for listening today, for watching to the end of this video. Remember that the thyroid is very small, but is mighty. Let's take care of it, okay? By understanding these connections that we talked about, you can take steps to support your health and your well-being, okay? If you have any questions, please send them in our WhatsApp group, or just feel free to send them again privately if you're feeling a little shy, all right? I'll be happy to answer them.